So next I'm pleased to welcome Lawrence Chong, CEO of Consulus, who will talk about designing for inclusiveness and innovation in Asian cities, opportunities and solutions. Lawrence, please.
Morning, partners and friends. Welcome to Shape the World 2018. I'd like to thank Mark and his team at Design Singapore for working with CBG and ourselves to make this happen. So thank you to Design Singapore for sharing our vision. It's perfect spot, central location, and you need to get up more, and it's a good excuse to come here. Once at the Berkshire annual meeting of shareholders, a 40-year-old asked Warren Buffett what advice he would give to a young person on how to be successful. And the Oracle of Omaha replied, "It's better to hang out with people better than you, pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you will drift in that direction." This quote by Warren Buffett sums up the crowd we tried together at each Shape the World conference since 2005. We seek to attract exceptional people, people of competence and integrity, so that we can concretely discuss, debate, and develop solutions that can shape a better world. This year, our focus is in the space of smart cities. Mark started this morning with a lovable presentation about the necessity to shape cities of meaning, places that we love. And then Xiaoyan helped us realize what it means to deliver solutions that work. How can we make sure that it's not smart city, but city smart? How do we make sure that it's always about the interaction between places and people? I'd like us to consider the purpose of the smart cities movement a bit more, to question its motives and our collective intent so as to achieve impact. Some of you know that Consulus has been involved in a global network to shape a more inclusive economic system called the Economy of Communion. Last year, as part of its 25th anniversary celebration, there was a conference in Rome. So I invited a few professional friends and partners from ASEAN to join me at the meeting to learn more about the initiative. As part of the anniversary celebration, Pope Francis met a group of 1,200 of us, professionals, business leaders, academia, gathered from everywhere. It was a joyous occasion, and I was expecting Pope Francis to give us the usual, encouraging words, go ahead, you have been doing so much things for the poor. But he did more than that. He said, the economy of communion, if it wants to be faithful to its charism, must not only care for the victims, but build a system where there are ever fewer victims, where possibly there may no longer be any. As long as the economy still produces one victim, and there is still a single discarded person, communion has not yet been realized. The celebration of universal fraternity is not full. Therefore, we must work towards changing the rules of the game of the social economic system. Imitating the Good Samaritan of the Gospel is not enough. Incidentally, we are in a chapel, but anyway, it's not for the reason why I showed this quote. When he said this, personally, I was very shocked, but it felt like an existential wake-up call. And it set me and my colleagues on a path to rethink our actions and how we can do more, especially for victims who will be displaced by urban and economic disruption. Ever since that fateful January 2017, we have been on a transformation journey ourselves to make sure that we are well positioned to influence change. First, we felt we had to find a way to influence future leaders in the way they think and shape economic strategies. So we signed a partnership with the university in Tuscany to bring leaders there on a 5-day program to help them discern about their roles in an age of disruption and reshape their personal leadership models. This September, we will have the first class. Then, in November last year, while I was in Sao Paulo, together with my colleagues in Latin America, after sharing about our work in helping companies find purpose before transformation, a local government official came up to me and said, "Lawrence, what you said about purpose is so essential and is needed in Brazil. Just to let you know, just as you spoke about purpose, my daughter texted me and said, 'Daddy, I am no longer into drugs, but still, I need to find my purpose.'" That left a deep mark in me, and I understood that we have to find a way to help individuals and micro-enterprises find their purpose and transform to prepare for the coming economic disruption. So after 6 months of development, we launched Brazil 4.0, a program to help individuals and micro-enterprises, companies who have no money to pay for consultants, to define their role and transform themselves and their business models for the new economy. Now back to ASEAN, our home region. It is where we can have the greatest and most incredible impact. We are fortunate to have great and old friends in business. So many of you are here in this room. With CPG, we have been working together since 2004. And over the years, through projects from airports, security installations, to now smart cities, we have built up an incredible amount of trust between us. And above all, even though we are from different disciplines, we can operate well together. But dear friends, what is capability if we cannot deploy it for good? What is power if we cannot shape the world? So it is interesting to see how Paradise Kuching, the integrated smart township there, is uniting the community through the arts, ecology, and identity. We had envisioned that the place would be the new heartbeat of Kuching, and apparently in the last election, it is. Friends, we still have lots to do, and in the situation of ASEAN with its multiplicity of identities, languages, beliefs, ways of doing things, we need a more relevant and relational approach to the challenges and opportunities of ASEAN. So allow me to present a few issues for your consideration as we begin today's session. Many cities in ASEAN are overcrowded. So is it wise to be so city-centric in our solutions? How can we consider the suburbs, even villages, as part of our bigger strategy? How can we take the stress off our cities? They are struggling to cope with rising population and cost. Next, ASEAN has a rich tapestry of culture and beliefs. So how can we reflect that as we shape the identities of smart city initiatives? Right now, the identity and communication tends to be skewed towards technology. So how can we involve other stakeholders, religious and community leaders, in shaping these developments so that it does not seem so alien to them? ASEAN has also one of the youngest populations in the world, and smart city projects are about the future. But we seem to rush through a lot of plans for smart cities development without taking time to involve the youth. This could explain why the youth are not as excited as governments, developers, and consultants are about smart cities. Lastly, how can our smart cities help contribute to meeting sustainable development goals and reduce inequality? How can we enable affordable housing, not as an appendix, but mainstream them into a community through good design? Dear friends, dear partners, as we do our work in the comfort of our offices, let us remember those without a roof over their heads. As we enjoy our food today and in the course of our work travels, let us remember the thousands who do not have the certainty of a meal. With the skills and power that we have been blessed with, we need to look at the homeless, the hungry, the weary in the eye, that we are doing everything we can to shape a better world for them. As consultants, business leaders, civil servants, we need to work together and also hold each other accountable on how to evolve our collective work further. one that will generate revenue and also consistently improve lives and environment. Profit and purpose can coexist and need not cancel each other out. 3 weeks ago, as it was Father's Day, I decided to bring my 3-year-old on a cycling trip in my neighborhood. It was the first time that we were doing this, and it was a beautiful experience. We cycled past beautiful waterways. I could stop along the way to let her play on different playgrounds, even take a moment to have ice cream. So I scored a lot of points as Daddy that day. It was landscaped beautifully, and many cycling paths were shaded by lush greenery. As my daughter was enjoying her ice cream, I turned my thoughts to what we are all trying to do together in ASEAN. Certainly along the way as I cycled, there was technology, but technology was not visible. But what was visible was how the space is designed to be sustainable and shared. So this is what I wish for all the cities that we are working on, that our smart solutions will help to shape meaningful lives, so that our children and their children will live in sustainable and shared cities where they feel welcome and loved. Thank you.